How's it going out there in New York City? This is the House of Business Podcast 2.0. This is your host, Caleb Thompson. And this is the place where we give you the knowledge and the tools to execute your dreams and your visions. Like I said, this is the House of Business Podcast 2.0. And I want to start off every message as I usually do with gratitude. So I would like to thank everyone for tuning in to these episodes of this podcast. I would like to thank all the entrepreneurs, all our clients, all our customers, all our employees, all our international business partners that tune in to the House of Business Podcast. This podcast was built from wanting to share entrepreneurial knowledge with those who wanted to become an entrepreneur. Everyone that wanted to break out of the 9-to-5 job and they wanted to move forward into entrepreneurship. That's why we created this podcast, to give them certain business insights that could help scale their business from $0 to $1 million, maybe from $1 million to $10 million. So, in profit. So, and also a couple of investment strategies and how to invest your finances strategically to a point where you would get a high return on your investment, a large ROI. So, but we would like to thank you guys. Thank you guys for being a part of what we have here. We thank you for all our followers. We thank you for, like I said, just everything. I always like to start the my episodes off with gratitude. So today is going to be, the episode for today is going to be paperwork to purpose, cleaning up your business before the new year. So today, why we're recording this episode today, because we're talking about cleaning up your business before the new year. Now, once you start to get the ball rolling in your business and you really start to understand, because once you first start your business, you're going to have to understand that you're going to have to wear every hat of the business. You're going to have to be the marketer. You're going to have to be the customer service rep. You're even going to have to do some, now I wouldn't prefer this, but you will even have to manage some type of legal aspect of the business once you first start. So you will have to be the marketer. You will have to be, once you start a business, you will have to wear every hat of the business until you can scale the business or get to a point, or even have some partners, whether your spouse or maybe a friend or someone like that, until you have someone that can help you to move the business forward. So I want you to know that today we're talking about cleaning up your business before the new year. And I'm going to give you 3 talk points and ways on how to clean your business up. So from paperwork to purpose, and we're not talking about physical paperwork. We're also talking about digital, you know what I mean? Your digital paperwork as well, having everything in alignment. I don't even care if it's we're just not talking about finances, having your finances in alignment to where your business is going, having everything strategically structured, even your business operation systems. This would be a good time right now. If you have a business and you have already set up your business and you are looking to take your business to the next level, this is a great time to refine your business operational systems so that your business can run smoother, faster, and be more efficient for every customer and every client. You can get people in and out of the establishment faster. You can adopt other systems or other ways that similar businesses do the same thing. When I first started my business, I didn't just start from scratch to start to create my business operational systems. I've researched and seen how other companies that were similar to mine, how they structured their business and what operational systems did they put in place when it came to, if I like my consulting company. So we have a business consulting company where we do, we do backer offer development. We do business plans. We have a lot of services that's in that company. Mason D Affairs, this is the House of Business, which this podcast was based off of, is a French company. It's a company in France, but that company in particular, what I mean is I structured that company based off of another consulting company. Then I tailored it to my own preference. So that basically means this. It's like this. If I see someone that has, let's say I customize shoes, they customize shoes. Now I'm just going to use this analogy. Or I make, you know what I mean? I make hamburgers and they make hamburgers. What I'm going to do is I may adopt the system that they use to make sure that they, let me go back here. I'm gonna tell you what a business operation system is. A business operation system is this. I have a business. I expect a certain quality my business to produce a certain type of quality. Okay, now how do you do that? How do you make sure that your business produces a certain type of quality, even if you're there or even if you're not there? You know how? You create a business operational system. And this is what a business operational system is. A business operational system is this. If you go to McDonald's in Texas and get a Big Mac, it's gonna taste exactly the same like a Big Mac in New York City. You know why? Because there's a business operational system set in place to ensure that that burger comes out the same exact way no matter where you are. If you are in McDonald's in New York and you are in McDonald's in Texas, you're gonna get the same Big Mac because there is a business operational system that says that you cook the patty for this long, you use this type of bread, you use this type of sauce, you use these type of toppings, and that will create, and you use this type of box, that creates the Big Mac. Don't you know that is a business operational system to ensure that you will get the same quality no matter where you are, as long as you purchase an item from that establishment. So that is what a business operational system is. So this would be a great time to get your business operational systems refined going into the new year. And then I have a lot of business owners that are on this particular, that listen to this podcast. And if you've been in business for a long time, as myself, then you are probably already finding out strategic ways to enter into quarter 3 of next year. So a lot of my businesses are already structured all the way up to quarter 2, the end of quarter 2, going into quarter 3, with room for adaptability, just in case a trend comes along, just in case, you know, there's an economic crash or an economic increase. You know, there are areas that are still flexible within that business, within that strategy, to be adaptable to certain things that happen that we haven't foreseen yet. So, but a lot of people are already June. My business is already structured for the end of June of next year. So, but I want to tell the business owners, if you are a small business owner, you have just now went into business, and this is something that I want you to know that's very important. From paperwork to purpose is the name of this episode, and what we're going to talk about getting everything in your business, all your paperwork, in alignment to not where you are at this current time, but where you want your business to go. So give me 1 second here, or where you want your business to go. So, all right, so I'm going to give you 3 talk points here, like I usually do. Number 1, why disorganized paperwork is holding your business back. This is why disorganized paperwork is holding your business back, because, you know, even I realize that myself, that my paperwork isn't, if it's not in order, my business can't move forward with confidence. It's something about knowing your numbers. You know, how can I even get a $250,000 loan for my business if I don't even know my profit and loss statements? I don't even know how much revenue my business generates quarterly or annually. I don't even have that type of information because my paperwork is not in place. So if someone comes along and they wants to invest, they see what we're doing here, and they want to invest into this company, they will not be even able to have enough information to make a concrete decision on if they want to invest or not. You know why? Because my paperwork isn't in order. So let me tell you this. You can make the best lemonade on this side of the Hudson. You can say, I want to start a lemonade business. I'm going to take different types. You can make the best lemonade on this side of the Hudson River, but if you do not have your paperwork together, you can make millions of dollars selling lemonade, but you don't know about retained earnings. You don't know how to put money aside for taxes. You don't have any paperwork in order. You haven't established the LLC. You haven't established anything that you needed to establish to make sure that if you ever got audited, you just can't run around selling lemonade and making millions of dollars, and the government doesn't catch on sooner or later. Sooner or later, either it's going to be a competitor that's going to hate on you. Somebody's going to look into your background. It's going to be a jealous family member. It's going to be somebody that's going to try to destroy or attack your business at some point, or attack your character at some point of your life or in your business when you start to generate revenue. So you need to have your ducks in a row, so when they come for you, you'll have the receipts. You know what I mean? Because somebody somewhere is going to come for your business. They're going to come for your lifestyle. They're going to come for your character. They're going to try to break you down. They're going to try to clothe you in shame in some kind of way. So you're gonna have to have all your ducks in a row. You're gonna have to be prepared. You're gonna have to have everything together so that they will not be successful in taking you down or destroying your business. But another thing is, I've seen that, you know what I mean, like even when I've had missing documents or outdated filings or just poor record keeping, it slowed down opportunities, and it just created unnecessary stress. So a lot of opportunities that I could have took part in, or I could have partook in a lot of great opportunities. Like we had a government contract. We had a government contract for my restaurant company. With this government contract, we were supposed to supply food service to the troops, to the ones who were in Army basic training camp in a place in Oklahoma. I'm trying to think of the place. It was Fort something, you know what I mean? But it was for Army soldiers, and we were supposed to go into this. I made a bid on it with 3 different government bidding sites. I think I made a bid on the contract to be the food service provider for these soldiers. And then the thing was that I didn't have my paperwork all together. I had the company, I had the menu, I had the necessary finances to start the company. I knew how to write a business proposal. I knew how to bid on a contract. But when it came down to the legalities of my company, from my trademarks, my copyrights, from my business being submitted to the Secretary of State in that area, for me having the articles of organization, from me having I didn't have all that paperwork where I didn't have it in alignment. I didn't have it ready. If they were to say, okay, send us this or send us your EIN number, or you know what I mean, to make sure that we can go in contract, I didn't even have all those things available. So that lets you know that will hold back certain things. But I now understand that clarity in my business starts with order, not hustle. You can hustle all you want to. You can hustle till your wheels fall off. But you will have to hustle less if you take the time to say that I'm not going to rush like everybody else. I'm going to take this next month, and I'm just going to structure this business. The structuring of a business is giving the business a foundation. That's like this. While somebody is going out there every day hustling, it's easy for you to hustle if you already have a structure set in place. If I know it every morning at 4:30 I'm going to work out. If I know it at 5:30 I'm going to execute the business marketing calendar. If I know it at 6 a.m. I'm going to start to check my emails and check my list for business opportunities or whatever. If I know at 8 o'clock, if you already have a structure set in place, now this is just your daily life structure. Your daily life structure pours into your business structure. It's just like this. I can have a business structure that's set in place, and it is flawless. But if me, the person who owns the business, if my life is disorganized, the business is going to fail. So it starts with the owner, slowly every day creating a daily routine to getting their life in order and being able to transfer that skill set, or transfer that knowledge of structuring a life and structuring a business into that company. You know what I mean? Because at first it starts with your life, then it starts with the business operational systems of you structuring the company, and how you structure the company is going to structure your company culture. So you know what I'm saying? So it's different. Have you ever been to a place and you be like, man, I don't belong here? It's because you don't fit the company culture. How's the company culture established? The company culture is established by the business, the way the business is set up, and who set that business up is the business owner or the people he chose on the board of directors that help him structure that business. So it matters who you are as a person, all the way down to your core, will affect the people that work for you. So you know what I mean? So I've been in those situations. But that's something that you need to understand when structuring a business. But I missed out on a lot of opportunities, like I said, for not having certain pieces of paperwork in place. Even when I transferred most of my companies here to New York City, when we transferred, you have to have you have to create a document, or have a document called a foreign entity, or establishing a foreign entity. That means that your business wasn't originally filed here in this state, but you want to operate here in this state. So you have to have an article of a foreign entity. You have to submit that document in order to operate outside of the state that your business was originally filed in. So there are certain things that you really need to understand and really need to know before moving forward in business. So that's something that I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, so number two. Give me 1 second here. Number two. Sorry about that. That was another thing I needed to do. Okay, something just popped up. So that was. Never mind. Anyways, number two, cleaning up my business engine, systems, compliance, and financial clarity. So that's something that we just already discussed. We already discussed about your business engine. This is the way that your business runs, whether you are there or whether you are not there. If there's a certain way that I want my floor mopped in my company, if I tell you I want the floor mopped to this standard every day, I need to build a system on the way that floor to get that result. That means this: I don't care if the guy uses a certain type of cleaning material, uses a certain type of mop, but if I want my floor sparkling like this every day, I need to put a checklist or a system in place to make sure that I get that same result every time, no matter who mops the floor. So you know what I mean? So that's just something small, but cleaning up my business engine, my systems, my compliance, making sure that you are compliant, like we just talked about, that document about being a foreign entity. If I want to operate in the state of New York City, and my business was originally at a couple businesses, let's like our holding company is established in Wyoming. We have another company established in Delaware. We have another company established in Oklahoma, and one of those companies we wanted to transfer to operate here in New York City as we expanded. So that I had to fill out the paperwork called a foreign entity. You know what I mean? Registering a foreign entity to operate in another state, and I didn't know that at first. So I thought I had to establish a brand new LLC with the same name, because that name wasn't taken in that state, and then find a way to integrate both of those companies in two different states, when really I could use the same company and I could just file a document that will allow me to operate outside of the state that I originally filed in. So I didn't have to create an entirely new business. But yeah, cleaning up your business. So like I said, man, I'm taking time to review myself. I'm taking time to review like my licenses, my like food licenses, like anything that I need. I'm taking time to review my licenses, contracts, my bookkeeping, my taxes, and also my payroll, so I know exactly where my business stands before we go into the new year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm simplifying my systems. Like I said, organizing digital files, as we just talked about. It's not all about just the paperwork, but it's the digital files as well. Updating my processes, which is those business operational systems, the way to make things, to make more transactions seamless, and to make a transaction completely seamless, from the time you walk into the store until the time you purchase a product to the time that you get home and we give you a follow-up. That whole entire process needs to be seamless front to back, and one way you do that is by updating those processes to just streamline those processes seamlessly. So that's something else that you guys can make sure that you do, as well as I do the same thing going into this new year. But also I'm choosing structure because it gives me better control. So like I said, I'm choosing structure. You don't want a business that's all over the place. Structure your business properly. If you do the hard work now, you won't have to do it later. It's just like this. If I do the things that I don't want to do, that's like, they're tedious, they seem like they're insignificant and they don't make sense. If I do all of those things now at this point, I won't have to do them later. You know what I'm saying? So if you do what you're supposed to do now, it will make life a lot easier. Yeah, I don't want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to do certain things, but if I do it now, I will get the result and it will pay off later. So just do the little things that seem insignificant, the little things that seem like they don't matter, the little things that seems tedious, the little things that will irritate you and frustrate you as a business owner. Do those little things now, and I promise you will be happy you did. And the littlest things are the hardest part. So do those things now. Okay, turning structure into strategy, aligning my operations with my vision. That's number 3. And then I'm using this cleanup season to realign my business with my vision and purpose God placed in my life. You also have to understand that it is a ministry to be a business owner. You know what I mean? I try to align my purposes with and what God placed me on this earth to do. I try to integrate that into my company culture and integrate that to every business I have. I never take the credit from God. I never take the credit that, it is God that gives me the power to obtain wealth. I don't care. It could be, like I said, it could be 90 people speaking on your finances. It could be people doing spells and hexes and word curses on your finances. But the truth of the matter is, if God declares you to be blessed and for you to be rich, you're going to be rich regardless. They can do whatever they want to do. People can say what they want to say. But one thing I do truly know and understand, when you are destined to be great, when you are destined to have something in life, when you are destined to be an influence, if it is your God-given purpose to be who you're supposed to be, no one can stop that. No one can stop that. There's even been certain times in my life where I felt like I didn't even want to do certain things when it came to business. I thought I was supposed to be doing something totally different. I thought I was supposed to just own a restaurant. I never imagined having so many companies. I never imagined, doing so many things, especially, taking calls with business partners from Thailand. I never thought about that. I never thought I would be in that position to do that. I never thought about being a stockholder to Korean Airlines. I never thought of that in any point in time in my life. I never thought about starting over. Don't you know that I moved forward, moved to a location where it'd be easier for me to work. And I'm not saying I can't go somewhere else, but easier for me to work. And don't you know that I had to throw everything away just to, before going into the new year, things that I felt like I took from another place that I was at that had bad energy on it, things I had to throw all that stuff away. You know why I threw all that stuff away? Because I felt like it didn't align. It was taking something old into the new, and it had to go. If I got to start over, sometimes you have to start over to move forward. So sometimes you got to throw everything away. Some things that you still hold dear to you is what's holding you back. You're too attached to things that serve no purpose in your life. And you can always get everything back. I've lost thousands and thousands of dollars. I've lost houses. I've lost properties. I've lost vehicles. I've lost contracts, jobs, and I've got it all back. You know why? Because it's taught me something. It taught me that as a human being can adapt to anything. I bet right now, if you throw somebody out there I bet you throw a human being out there in that cold, and in that cold, snowy weather, I bet they'll find a coat. I bet they'll find somewhere to warm up. I bet they'll find a phone. They will do something to make sure that they don't sit there, and they're not just going to sit on the curb in the cold and die. You know what I mean? You know what they're going to do? Their brain is going to start working, because a human being can adapt to any situation. You could throw a human being in Iraq. Don't you know? You could send a soldier to Iraq, and it's so hot there that their body will start to adapt to that temperature. So when they come back to the United States, they even go into like a grocery store, they go into like a movie theater with the spouse or something, they'll be so cold because their body has already adapted to that type of temperature. And now their body will have to adapt back to that different type of temperature. So the human being is the most a phenomenal species on this earth. So that's something that you really have to understand, that's what we do. So I'm setting intentional goals now that my foundation is solid and my operations are clear. Set those intentional goals. I'm also building a business that doesn't survive the new year, but grows with purpose, integrity, and impact. Once you start to build something, you have to start to build something looking down the line for the next 10, 20 years. Everything that I've ever built is not for me. You have to get that out of your mind. Everything that I've ever built, whether it's been a business, whether it's been a relationship, whether it's been a partnership, everything that I've aligned myself with or built, I built it in regards and with understanding and anticipating that it is not for me. Yeah, the reason why me and this person is business partners, because once I give my son the business, his son will take care of his business, and I want to kind of raise our kids together to a certain extent that they will already understand where this family is going. They will already understand who their father's colleagues are. They will already understand who their father's business partners are. So every relationship that I have is strategic. It's not just people just popping up in my. I don't just open up the door to anybody. People just popping up in my life and hey, and they want to casually hang out. No, everything I do is strategic. It's either I'm going to be a mentor or I'm going to be a mentee. Either someone's going to teach me something to pour into my life, or if someone is in my life that cannot help me, I have to cannot help me to grow. I have to feel like that they were put there for me to help or to pour into or to help bring their life up to a certain degree. So it's not always about me benefiting from a situation, but sometimes God will place people in my life to help and me to walk with those people to a certain level, or to bring them to a certain level, a certain extent, and then I have to release them and then hopefully pray that God will send someone else to take them to the next level, but I only can take them so far. So I do understand, and that's no benefit to me. The benefit of me is being obedient and doing what God has called me to do to make sure I be a blessing in someone's life. I'm not looking for the financial gain. I'm not looking for that. So that's a difference. So, but other than that, if I don't really feel like that you were sent or I have, it's my purpose to and God's plan to help you in that certain level, we're not going to be that close. You know what I mean? I may help you, give you some information, and we may never see each other again. So, but establish your business with the next 10, 20 years in mind. Establish everything that you do from this point. I need you to think about legacy. I need you to think about your children's children. I need you to think about, and I'm going to tell you something. This is how you're going to get the ball rolling. You can get the ball rolling by spending 1 hour a day towards working on one thing. So, you know what I mean? That's 12 months. Each month, work on one thing. This month right now, I'm going to get it all. I'm not going to think about, oh, I don't have the money to do this. Oh, I don't have the money to. I'm not going to think about any of that. I'm going to think about what do I need to work on financially. If I need to work on building my credit or getting things knocking off my credit report, if I need to work on generating some money. Don't you know that there was a time when I didn't have no job? I was building these companies. When I was building these companies, I was taking surveys. I took surveys for a company probably for a long time just to sustain me while I was building the business. So I did have a job, but I didn't have a job that I was truly committed to. But I took surveys, man. I got online, found me a website that they'll pay me to take surveys. I was making $40 here, $50 here, $30 here. I don't do that now. But, you know, I found a way to still sustain my life and help me to make it through those rough patch seasons where I was building those companies. So I want you to know that build with purpose, and build with intentionality, and build with the next 10, 20 years in mind. You know, so like I said, this is the House of Business Podcast. This is your host, Caleb Thompson. This is a place where we give you the knowledge and the tools to execute your dreams and visions. Coming live from New York City. We'll see you here back next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.